قائم على المادية السياسية الأمريكية والإسرائيلية، يعني محاولة لإرضاء جميع الأطراف بطريقة يعني غير منظمة أو بطريقة يعني فيش فيها استراتيجية. يعني ممكن السياسة الخارجية الألمانية تتغير كل سنة حسب إيش التغيرات في المنطقة، حسب إيش في رضا إسرائيل، إيش في رضا أمريكا، إيش في رضا العرب، يعني غير تابعة على استراتيجية معينة وأهداف معينة منطلقة من قواعد واضحة. السؤال هنا، هل هناك فرق في السياسة الخارجية بين الحزب الاشتراكي والحزب الديمقراطي الألماني؟
I'm not sure if I'm a socialist and which one? Christian Democrats, I think.
Social Democratic
يعني الحكومة والمعارضة.
الحكومة والمعارضة.
الحكومة والمعارضة.
زي معارضة
التسامح.
أزيد على سؤالك على مسألة إنه على ضوء الأخبار اللي سمعناها إنه حزب النور فاز في أحد القليل الأمريكية وإنه متوقع أن يكون أحد المحافظ الأمريكيين وهو القادم الألماني وهو حزب يساري معروف. هل هذا معناه أنه غير السياسة الخارجية الألمانية الصدرية مع السوريين؟
Very good question. The different parties. In general, there is a consensus among all the parties when you look at the party programs, when you look at the election programs, the historical responsibility and Israel's right to exist. It is a little bit less prominent in the party program of the Green, and it does not exist in the party program of the Left Party. But in all other party programs, it's there. And then you have a difference, and that is that those parties that are in government now have introduced since 2000-something Israel as a Jewish state. This is first the Christian Democratic Party has introduced that in their program, and then also the Liberal Party has introduced that. So when you look in the last coalition agreement, you find it there. And when you look at the CDU party program, you find that Israel's right to exist is a raison d'etre of Germany. That is, it's one of the main tenets of Germany, and it comes at the same level as the transatlantic relation and European integration. This is when you look at the party programs, and the Chancellor has also stressed this idea of Israel as a Jewish state quite a lot of times. Now when she says Israel as a Jewish state, she doesn't talk about a religious state, she talks about Israel as a state for the Jews, but she doesn't say anything about what does that mean for other citizens in the state of Israel. So there is no thinking about this. All parties also have in their programs the idea that there should be a two-state solution. So this is part of it, but they do not detail what they want to do to get there. And actually, this very strong emphasis by the Christian Democrats on Israel and the importance doesn't translate into policies. When we look at history a little bit, we see that during between the parties. So at the time, Joschka Fischer was very, very active. Now he also was not even-handed in his policies, but at least he tried to translate the interest in the subject into active policies. And we haven't seen anything like this actually since the end of 2003, I would say, since the failure of the roadmap. Will all of that change when the Greens become a more important party? I think I will leave that for Joachim to answer. Well, he is linked to the Green Party.
Okay, thanks, Maria. So, of course, I cannot answer this question directly. It will be this policy adopted and that policy adopted. But as you mentioned earlier, until now there is no clear statement from the Green Party on the question of recognition for the UN. There is some sympathy that has been expressed, and there has been the discussion in the Parliament where this was said, but there's no final position. Why is there no final position? I think because there, as in the other political parties, there are different political wings, at least when it comes to the question of what we're discussing here, and the balance always needs to be struck. So I think what was said by the Greens and also very clearly was the position towards, for example, the siege of Gaza. Several times said that this is considered to be corporate punishment. Also, the resolution of the German Parliament, where all parties agreed, that Muriel mentioned, that came from the Greens. So I don't think there will be a complete, or there will be one position, but I think there will be, let's say, a greater openness to the issues that are coming from the Palestinians. I don't think at this point we can be clearer than that, because there are two who used to go to the general elections that, in Germany. There will be the power struggle, of course. The Greens, after Jas mentioned winning the elections in one state and having the first prime minister in one of the federal states. So there will be a great request for power. That means also public opinion is very important, and hopefully in 1 year we will learn more. And hopefully we can bring one of the Greens MPs also together for a discussion on those issues.
I would like to get back to the other questions that were asked, but I wanted to say something on the Arab Spring. Anyhow, I say something on it. I think what is very important is that the Arab Spring has really changed the way that people in Germany and in Europe look at the region. And it has the image of the region has changed completely in the media and how people think and talk about the region. For the first time, it's this feeling, these are people like us who want the same things. Look at all these nice young people in Tahrir Square or in Tunisia. And it's not no longer this image that people had of the Arab world, of being a world of extremism and of terrorism. So the Arab Spring has changed something very substantial, and I think it will be very, very important to build on this. And trying from the Palestinian side to further work on public opinion in Germany and in Europe in general terms. So far, what I have said about the figures and the surveys of public